Hi, this is Roger, thanks for dropping by. I have not had a good day. We've had a bad day. I've twisted my back. What basically happened was, I said in a previous video that the carpet shampooer stopped working, brush is not going round, discovered you've had all afternoon to walk up to the door and you wait till I get the camera out. Come on. He has been asleep an awful lot, so fair enough. Yes, so I ordered a new belt with difficulty, but it arrived. I took the two panels off to expose where the belt goes. The little roller brushes lift out. Put the belt round the ends, round the drive shaft, refitted the tensioner, 4 screws, put the panel back on, 4 screws, turned it on, brush is still not going round. I thought, oh, come on! So I took the panel off so that I could see the brushes and part of the belt, and basically the belt wasn't really moving much. So the problem was that the drive shaft wasn't moving the belt. Now, it took me an hour and a half to get to that stage of messing about. I took the brushes out, I oiled the mechanisms, I tried everything. Anyway, so basically I had a look at the drive shaft and it was slightly corroded. Now you'd think that would give it an uneven surface, which means it would bind on the belt even better. No. So I got some, so you're going to have to excuse the noise. I've been waiting all this time to be able to film the big garden over there, which is the end house. You can't see it. But there are 4 houses along here, flats. And the garden is the length of those 4. It's a massive garden, and it's always been, oh, come on back in then if you come in. And it's always been a jungle. It's just been left unkempt, so it's nettles, brambles, weeds, grass 3 foot high. It's always been a mess. And it was rumoured that the person who owned the end house, the last of the 4, was going to put a 5th house on the end, so extend out with another house. But that didn't happen, and then people moved into what had been an empty house for a long time. Now I don't know whether they bought it or not, but given the works that they're doing, I assume they must have bought it, but I never saw a for sale sign. But they've put a patio out the back, you know, with a terrace, sorry, you know, with a roof, decking and everything, so they've got somewhere to sit out. And they've been using a strimmer and a mower trying to recover this huge plot of land that they've got. And the noise that's going on is a mini digger with a huge wide bucket on it. It's basically stripping the land back to the soil. And I was watching him earlier. He's doing a grand job. It's absolutely smooth and dead flat. So he's just taking all of the top off, whatever it involves, brambles, nettles, the lot. And it's to pay for turf over that area would be nearly worth the cost of the house. So I would imagine it's going to be seeded. This is not a good time of year to sow grass seed because potentially we can have frosts, we could get snow. We've already had snow once, so it wouldn't be a good time. The trouble is, if you wait till the good time, probably March, early April, when the weather's getting warmer, days are getting longer, showers so that you don't have to water it, plant the seed, magic. But between now and then the weeds are going to grow again. It might take the surface off, but there's going to be weed seeds all over that. Anyway, that's what the noise is. It's the mini digger going on. I've been waiting for him to finish, but he's still got an amount to do. Probably might not even finish today, so I thought I'd just get on and film something. Anyway, so the drive shaft was not smooth and shiny like it shows in the picture. So out in the man drawer in the kitchen, that's an in-joke for a British comedian who was on about the man drawer. It's a kitchen drawer and it just has all sorts of things in it. It has keys that nobody knows what they're for. It has screws and loose nails. It'll have a pair of scissors, it'll have some screwdrivers, possibly a hammer, it'll have a ball of string. It's called the man drawer. It's basically full of rubbish, a lot of which never gets used. But in my man drawer, basically, there was some wet and dry paper. Very fine sandpaper, for those who don't know what wet and dry is. And so basically I cut a thin strip off, started it up, and just sort of held it against the drive shaft and polished it, basically. It came up nice and smooth. And I thought, that is smooth, and I felt it to see how smooth it was, and I burnt my finger. It was hot, so we have a burn on our finger now. Luckily it's the finger with not much feeling, it's the one that's got constant pins and needles, some sort of nerve damage in that finger. So although it's a burn, it don't hurt as much as it should do. But anyway, I put it all back together and the brush is turned. So we sort of solved the problem. Next problem was, it wasn't sucking up the liquid properly, and I worked out that that was because the filter was totally blocked. So it's all working now. So, but it was a hard day, and basically the only place I could work on the thing was with it upside down on a chair. So I've spent half the day like that, doing screws up and undoing screws, and so I've hurt my back. So I decided that after a day like that, it is Friday after all. A lot of people think of later on Friday as part of the weekend, so I opened a bottle of wine. And that's not going to go with what I've got for tea tonight. I've got 2 nice sea bass fillets for tea tonight. So red wine doesn't really go with white fish, does it? Well, it'll have to do. Anyway, the continuing saga of nothing to film out here at the moment. I'm desperately trying to think of something to film along the orchid lines for tomorrow, which will be Saturday. I've got a normal weekend, a me at home weekend with nothing going on. Oh, the other saga this morning, with driving through all the floods and everything, getting Hannah home, the car was absolutely filthy. There's bits of straw and also stuck to the side, so set off for the car wash this morning. I got there, out of order. Thank you. So I came back down to the other car wash, which is a bit more expensive, cash only. Well, I don't carry cash, I only had cards. So sort of a wasted journey, although I did have to call in and pick up a prescription on the way back, so I at least didn't totally waste the journey. So the car's I've still got to go out again now, because I still need to get the car washed. It's absolutely filthy. Good job to see out the side windows, because they all got splashed with mud and everything. So we've still got that to do. Anyway, I will try and find a proper orchid video for tomorrow and a subject to add on to the end of the Sunday chat. But apart from that, there really isn't much going on. And that's 2 days on the trot now. I've got up in the morning and I've had a look in my subscriptions feed, which is where any new videos come up from channels that I've subscribed to, and there is nothing to watch because there's nothing new. So I'm not the only one not posting anything. There's lots of others that are just not posting videos. I mean, Danny's cut down to 1, maybe 2 a week. Nina's not posting many, and others. There are some that are posting a bit more frequently, but they're not necessarily ones that I enjoy watching. So yeah, there's really not much going on. Even the bonsai channels that I watch, they've thinned right down. It's not a good time of year for bonsai because there's nothing to do apart from just sit and look out the window at them. You know, there's not much work to do. I have got a little bit of work to do on a couple of my bonsai. I will bring them in and I will film that. Because we haven't done it yet, but Hannah's idea of keeping the garden and bonsai channel going rather than just let it lie dormant, because it is monetized, Her idea of every time I do a bonsai or a garden video, post it to this channel, Rogers, Orchids, Garden and Bonsai, all the channels combined. So post it here, yes, make it obvious that it's not an orchid video for those who moan about such things. Not that I take a lot of notice, but you know, you moan all you like, it don't change a lot. But Hannah said post it on the other channel as well, because it's a monetized channel, and as far as YouTube is concerned, as long as it has something posted on it now and again and gets a few comments, they'll keep it running. They won't delete it or shut it down. So yeah, so we will do that. But the idea was that I was going to post a video on that channel saying that I've changed my mind, I'm not going to leave this channel dormant. I am going to carry on posting videos about the garden and my bonsai trees, so that people who joined that channel just for the garden or just for the bonsai still get some videos posted, because they might not want to come over to the orchid channel. Yeah, so I will get that done. I just need a quiet day because I need to film that outside, and a day when it's not raining and it's not sub-zero. Getting lots of prerequisites to filming nowadays. Like in here, something going on would be good. Outside, weather, dependent, machinery, workmen, all that sort of stuff, and something to do. There is a big job coming up in the garden, and I might tackle half of it myself before Hannah comes down. Next time Hannah comes down is for the Orchid Society's Christmas do. Well, that's Saturday gone, which leaves us Sunday. Now that could be a nice gardening day, but that's weather dependent. Yeah? With two of us we'll get a lot more done, and Hannah enjoys helping, so it would be nice. But the planted border in the garden needs a tidy, it needs a winter cutback down to ground level in a lot of cases, to leave room for the new growth to come up and the bulbs to push through. Unfortunately the leaves are not down off that tree yet, so if I clear that border out, get the leaf blower out, do a bit of weeding if there aren't too many weeds in there, and get it all nice and tidy, the first breeze we get, half the ton of leaves are going to come down on it again, so it's still not going to look good. But the work still needs to be done, no matter what it looks like. So there will be a bit going on outside, but it won't be a lot. And I will try and find something in here to film tomorrow that's of interest, rather than me standing here waffling and complaining about what a bad day I've had. I suspect my twisted back, which is twinging, not bad, but it's twinging, but getting in and out of a chair is not too clever. I suspect I'll sleep that off, and tomorrow I'll get up and it'll be fine, or it might be a bit stiff first thing and then it'll go away. Well, that's the plan anyway. We shall see. Anyway, that's it for today. Sorry, still no orchid videos, but I will get something together for tomorrow. I might even be able to find some things to repot. There are a few things that are on my get them done as soon as possible list that still haven't been done. Well, if they're in a position where, although new growths this time of year would be incredibly slow, if those plants do have some new growths with signs of roots starting, it is worth giving them a repot, even though it's coming up to winter. They will still move slowly, they won't stop. This is oncidiums I'm talking about now, so we shall see. And one thing I did notice today was one of my black hair type dendrobiums, the infundibulum, has got about 4 buds on it. Now, given that there's normally at least 2 blooms per bud, and the blooms last about 3 months, that should look good, but don't hold your breath. It's another one of those where the buds can take quite a long time to push on, and actually they're nubbins on the cane at the moment. They're not actual pushed out buds yet. So we shall see. And that'll do. There's snooker on. unfortunately somebody who I'm not too keen on watching is winning, and the guy that he's beating, it's a shame because he deserved better in my opinion. But he's not getting a look in. I mean, okay, I might not like watching the guy play, but he's very good. I think he's one of the top in the world, so you know, you can't complain about his playing. I just don't like the fella. I saw an interview once that put me right off him. He's an English guy, so not UK, actual England, not Scotland or any of the other hangers-on. And he said nothing and something. Where on earth do you get nothing from? First of all, there's no K in it. There's no F in it. You know. And that's not an accent thing. That's just, well, it's ignorance in my opinion. Anyway, yeah. I could move on to politics, but they're all a bunch of tosspots. And you can complain about that language if you like, but they all could do with putting in a line with their heads close together and somebody coming up to the one on the end and going bump, so that it goes bump, 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 bump down the line and bangs all their heads together. Because they are not too good, not too clever. And the problem with our politics at the moment is the people in power have got such a huge majority that they're cocky. They keep smirking. They don't care because they can almost do what they like. So although it's a government and it's elected politicians, collectively they are working exactly like a dictatorship. They do as they please and they don't care what effect it has. Oh, if you're going to have a dictator, just get on and have one. A collective bunch that you could call one is not quite the same thing, but because in amongst them there will be some that go, excuse me, I don't think that's a good idea. Ah, shut up. They'll just shout, they'll just get shouted down because there's not enough of them. There's no support there for them. And I feel sorry for any politicians in that boat because they will feel useless. They will feel as though there's nothing they can do, no matter what their opinion is, they won't get listened to. And who knows, they might even be laughed at. Who knows? As I say, you get a cocky bunch like that, that's how it can go. So, we're in for a hard time in this country. There are objections to quite a few of the policies and they are gaining momentum, and the cocky people are still looking at them and smirking even though that momentum's gathering. I think people have got what they were told they would get, and they didn't believe it. They were told, if you vote that lot in, you will get high taxes, you will get extra borrowing. They were told, and they said, no, 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 it will be fine, let's give them a chance, and they got exactly what was predicted. And like I say, they're cocky and smirking because they don't care. It's a nice one. The Chancellor, the one who has the purse strings, who makes all the monetary decisions, nice post on Facebook. I don't know who posted it, don't care, but it was just a simple poster. The Chancellor's salary, 164,000. Allowance for clothes, 7,500. Pensioner, 13,000, and had had their winter allowance taken away. And that's what this lot have done, and they think it's fine. They're still saying it's the previous government's fault. How long are they going to keep saying that? Because that's exactly what the previous government said about the previous government. They all just blame the previous lot. They're all as bad as each other. But I suppose at least we do get a say in it. I just think people were misled this time round and were so fed up with what had gone before, they'd have almost voted for any alternative. Unfortunately, they chose the wrong alternative, in my opinion. They chose the wrong one. unfortunately the system stopped the right one getting a decent amount of seats and getting a big say. The system stopped that happening, despite the people's votes in numbers said, you come first, you lot come second, you lot come third. But the way the system works, that lot that came third got moved to second place, and those lot that should have been second place got moved to fourth. That's the system. And those lot that moved up from third to second have always been complaining about the system. I notice they've gone very quiet now. Yeah, only when it suits you. Anyway, I'm off. It's starting to get dark now. It doesn't show on the camera because the camera just adjusts as it starts to get dark. So, and matey out there is going to be working in the dark soon if he doesn't stop. I don't know how much he's got left to do, but he's doing a good job out there. It was quite interesting watching that out of the window upstairs, just to see the speed of which and the skill of which that digger is actually working. It's quite impressive. So I assume it's not the guy who lives there that's hired it, unless that's his job, because the guy doing the work really knows what he's doing. And it's really nice to see anybody doing a job really well. Doesn't matter what the job is, you know. It's just nice to see people good at their job. The previous lot that I've been talking about, you don't see that very often, do you? See you next time. Thanks for dropping by.